watching us today. Right now, it's 12:19 in the US. It's lunch. It's my lunch break. And Patrick is all the way in Dublin, in Ireland. Right, Patrick?
How you
And
doing? How you doing, man?
I'm well. Today's your day off, or today well, it's after 5 o'clock anyway for you, right?
Yeah, it's 5 o'clock here. It's 5 o'clock. It's one of my day offs because I'm always either in work or something. So today is one of the days I get a day off. So we're able obviously to do something like this, which is great.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially after we watched the games yesterday and this weekend as well. We haven't had a chance to talk on camera about kind
Yeah.
of what we noticed and everything else. It's always good to talk to you, man. And for those who are not following, Patrick is at True City Fan, and I'm at Pitch Point. We collaborate on a lot of things. We've decided to kind of work together on a couple of things and share both this video on both our
Yeah.
channel. Um, we're experimenting to see how this kind of goes. We may expand to include other people as well.
Yeah.
Have friends from Afrobeat Live that I'll probably bring in as well. But we're trying to figure out how we collaborate. And I'm using a new platform, Restream, today. I'm trying it for the very first time. So forgive my anything that happens. We're doing this because it allows us to share on both our platforms simultaneously, which StreamYard doesn't do. Right,
And
Patrick?
it's working. Right now as we speak, we are on my Twitter. We are also on your Twitter, right? And as we also speak, we are on your YouTube and we are also on my YouTube channel. So
Absolutely.
it is working.
We're also on my Facebook channel, my Facebook page as well, which is always interesting. So all my Facebook friends who are out there, please
Oh,
join, please comment as well. This should be good. And we just want to spend the next 30, 40 minutes, not to talk too much, but just talk about kind of what we saw in the game yesterday, City versus, or Bruges versus City, and some of the other Champions League games. And then we'll do a preview of this weekend's big game, United versus Liverpool.
yeah.
Patrick and I are talking offline about two things. One, the role of Walker, who is, in my opinion, the false nine, and then also talking about what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer needs to do if he's going to have any chance against Liverpool, and we'll talk about that later on. But Patrick, from yesterday's game against Bruges, how do you see this? As we introduce our friends who are watching us, Adam, hey, good to see you, man. Charlie, good evening. Good evening. Good to see you guys. Uh, Patrick, man, what were your thoughts about the game yesterday when you saw the lineup?
Yeah, I just sent you a thing there, a picture there for a minute, just so maybe people can be able to see. Look, the lineup was good, Carl. For me, I don't know. I'm not impressed by the thing. I don't know. I think I had to bear with me for a minute, guys.
Yeah,
Copy. I'm gonna just stop sharing that. I know I'll be talking about the lineup as I'm doing this. The lineup was amazing. I think Pep got it right. I think he knew that there was no room for experimenting and there was no room to play because I think he knew that if we mess up, especially with a team like the one we played against, we might have been in trouble. Do you know what I mean? So I think uh, for him, at first I wasn't look. At first I wasn't impressed, saying why are we always playing Foden false nine? This was just me. So I thought about it. I was like, Foden, I think as a false nine, he's actually it's not actually like he's a false nine. He's actually like it's a disguise because he seems to also drop in and help out. You find sometimes he's not even on the false nine position. He's dragging defenders away. He's
right.
assisting at that part. So look, I enjoyed the lineup and it's good that Cancelo is playing a lot because I think the more he plays, the more confident he gets.
Right. Right. You're absolutely right. And I think we'll tease this whole false nine thing a bit more, later on the show because, people say we don't have a number nine. Fair, granted, but you score 5 goals to win the Champions League.
Yeah,
Okay. We look at the Dortmund game, for example, and Dortmund have a number nine, probably one of the most sought after number nines in world football, Erling Haaland, right? They go to Ajax, who don't play with a number nine, right? And get battered 4-0. Erling Haaland has one shot on goal, right?
wow.
We look at Liverpool, for example, who don't have a number nine. They have Firmino, who plays like a number 10. And you have these two inverted wingers, Salah and Mane, right? They go to Atletico Madrid, win 3-2, right?
Yeah,
we look at, this traditional thought about, oh, we got to get the number 9 striker. We have
Oh,
no.
Kyle, you can share it now. I finally
Yes.
figured it out. It took me a while to figure out. So sorry, it's just that as you say, this is a new software, so that's better. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
better.
Yeah.
So that was the score anyway for the guys in the audience. Yeah.
Yeah. So one of the quotes from the one, actually Mignonet, which is the keeper for Bruges, said this. I'll quote. Just like the coach said, it is the first time that this group played against such a team where
Yep.
there's so much quality across the pitch throughout the whole team, not coming from 3 superstars like PSG, especially the attack. They switch positions. There's danger that comes from everywhere. It's the first time we've actually had this challenge where they have players, quality across the whole field, and basically can attack at any point in time. Anybody can score a goal. And if you watch, in my opinion, if you watch the best Barcelona team, if you watch the best Ajax team, if you watch the best Man City at this point in time, the way that we play is non-traditional, right? It's about passing, it's about movement, it's about rotational play where anybody can score. And I think that a lot of people have been so conditioned to, oh, if you don't have a number 9, you don't have a chance. That's not right, in my opinion, right? Where Liverpool and City are showing, and even Chelsea last year, Chelsea showed last year that you can actually win the Champions League without a number 9, right? Chelsea's role when Tuchel came across from January through probably May, one of the best teams in England, played without a number 9 and got points. So this idea that somehow we need this number 9 that can give us 100 goals or 50 goals, yes, it helps.
Yeah.
But in the absence of that, you have to find a way to win, where everybody contributes to winning, to scoring goals.
Isn't it fascinating or quite amusing that for a team that's been from the beginning, let's say since we came back, the talk has been City need a striker, City need a striker, City need a striker. Yet the team that needs a striker seems to have more goals than teams that have strikers. Hasn't that just amazed you or fascinated you, Carl?
No, it doesn't, because a lot of people get carried away by this media nonsense. And the English media is known for this, right? They create a narrative because that's what they used to. That's what they grew up with. They grew up in the years of we had a big English number 9 who could hit the ball and kick the ball on net. That's what they used to, right? The Harry Kane is going to get you 100 goals, or, Marado's back at Man United. Somehow is going to get you 100 goals. Not realizing that the game is changing. The game is about passing and moving, quick possession. Right? United are going to play a game today against Atalanta. They don't have a number. They have Duvan Zapata, but he doesn't really play like a number 9. He drops into the hole, right? Firmino, Salah, Mane, they don't play that way. Chelsea won the Champions League without a number 9. Lukaku's been struggling for the past 3 or 4 good games, right? He's a number 9. You cut off the number 9 position without any service. Guess what? He's isolated. Ronaldo against Leicester City. Did he score a goal? How many shots on goal did he have? 1, right? Maybe if you play with a Greenwood or a Rashford or a Cavani who's more mobile, maybe you have a chance. So again, the game yesterday with me was one where it was just all over the whole pitch. Total football. People playing left, right, center, rotating the ball all around the whole field. And I'll share about, why I call Walker the classic number 9. Whenever you see the classic false 9, whenever you see things happen once, twice, 3 times, it's not by accident, Patrick. Right? It has been planned. It has been prepared. We saw the same pattern that against Liverpool that we saw in this game against.
Yeah, I have it right. I have it right there for you.
From Kyle Walker, and I'll talk through this with everyone. Let me share very quickly. So if you can go back to so let's look at this very clearly, Patrick. Okay. So this whole thing starts off with the ball from the back from Ederson. It goes left. It comes right. You can see Diaz at the back there. Diaz is at the back. We see Cancelo tucking in. So Cancelo's right. Go back. Go back one slide, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, good. So we have Diaz right there at the back, right? Diaz is all the way to the back, right? That's Diaz, right? Good. Right there, right? Cancelo's tucking in as an inverted winger. So Kyle Walker is nowhere on the pitch to be seen. We can't see Walker, right? We see Foden right there. We see, I think that's either Bernardo or someone, but I'm not sure what it is. This
is Grealish over here. This is Grealish right over here.
Sterling's wide. Okay, so now
that's Bernardo and that's Raheem. Yeah,
right now. So the purpose of the false 9 is about positional play, right? That's what it is. It's about creating overloads, finding positions that somebody can go in. So Kevin De Bruyne is on the ball. Now, remember the Liverpool game, Patrick, where we showed what happened, where Walker was nowhere on the field, right?
Yeah.
De Bruyne was on the ball, right? De Bruyne had the ball. Once De Bruyne switched to play left, Walker ran into the striker position and laid off the ball for De Bruyne to score. In this case here, Walker's nowhere on the field to be seen. Walker is looking left and right at the back. So I watched the video. I can't share the video now because of copyright issues, but he's looking left and right, knowing when to go. The moment the ball goes right to the next frame, it goes to Mahrez. And the next frame. Okay. Do you have the one before this? There's one before this, if you don't mind. Go to 5.
I'm not sure. This is what this
Yeah,
one.
right there. Okay, perfect. Okay. So De Bruyne passes the ball to Riyad Mahrez. Riyad Mahrez is on the ball. Okay. City have 3 attacking 5, correct? There is no striker that's there. See, there's no striker. You have a winger on the left. You have a central midfielder, number 7, De Bruyne in the middle, and you have another winger on the right. Okay.
Yeah.
So Club Brugge are set up perfectly in a back 5 defending. Keepers in the right position. Okay.
Yeah.
Once Mahrez has the ball, he's going to get the ball back to Bruyne, who is coming right behind to play the 9 position. Next slide, right? It's who?
Yeah.
Kyle Walker. Kyle Walker assumes the position of the striker, coming in all the way from behind. Go to the next slide real quick.
Yeah.
Right?
This one.
Exactly. Yeah. Right. Mahrez passes the ball to De Bruyne. Guess who's playing the 9th spot? Walker.
Yeah. He also did these runs during you noticed these runs during Liverpool a lot. And after I saw that, I also saw him doing it in games he's played. So I was thinking, is this something that Guardiola has taught his fullbacks? Because you must also remember the goals scored by Cancelo with the assist from Foden. It was also similar. He ran in as a striker, so he went in as a striker.
Correct.
So what exactly is happening? Because I think people, I want to understand myself, and I want you also to explain, since you said you have a theory on this. So what exactly is happening? What's the whole point? Why are the fullbacks turning into like strikers or false nines?
Because, Patrick, the false 9 system is all about positional play. It means that there's always going to be the extra man who has the opportunity to get into position to score a goal, right? So Foden in this role is not playing the false 9 position. Look at this, right? Neither is Gundogan on the left. Neither is, right? The person who's playing the false 9, the striker, is Kyle Walker. Kyle Walker is the extra man who allows the De Bruyne to pass the ball to score the goal. Likewise with Cancelo. The whole false 9 system is about total football where anybody can score a goal. Whether you're
that's the pass he went through.
That's the pass I went through, right? So now he's one-on-one with the keeper and the defender on him, right? Scores the goal.
Very good finish for a fullback. Both fullbacks, very good and composed finish.
Right. So people who talk about, City don't have a number 9, right? Change the way you think about football for a minute, right? This is about total football positional play, creating the extra pass for the extra man to come and score a goal. That's what's happening. Yep. This was the same run that he made in the Liverpool game that allowed De Bruyne. So when he ran in the Liverpool game, he moved the player left, which allowed De Bruyne to come in and take the shot because it was deflected. The goal that Cancelo scored was the same process.
Same process, yeah.
Who was unmarked into the box and taking the shot. Last season, when we played the same played the same system, Gundogan got a lot of goals.
Yeah.
Right. So this idea that somehow, City don't have a number 9, therefore they can't win. Last year they won a Premier League playing the false 9. And they're demonstrating again that this system actually can work. So it's not by accident. When you see something happen once, maybe luck or fluke. When it happens twice, 3 times, 4 times, that's no longer luck. They've actually programmed this into the players. They practice this on and on and on and on. Right?
Yeah, true.
I'll give you an example. So in the team that I coach on the 13s, we lost our number 9 striker through she had a dislocated knee. So we practiced the false 9 system. I taught my players how to play what I call the 7-7, 2 number 7s on the right hand side, oval on one side, and then the midfielder comes in and scores a goal. It's the same principle. Create enough passes for the extra man to get into the box to score a goal. And that's what City are trying to do. In the absence of a number 9, right? We're using extra players to score goals. It's quite simple, Patrick. You're on mute.
Yeah, you want to read some of the comments? There's Charlie, I think, and a few people in there.
Let's see. Charlie says, okay, what did Charlie say? Okay. Charlie says, correct, Carl, I agree. Walker's movement, let's see, it's shown. Charlie says, yeah, correct, I agree. He says, Walker's movement is the same. Yes, exactly, Charlie. Walker's movement is the same v Liverpool. And Charlie, our point on this is the fact that in the absence of a number 9, the team have to adapt to what they have, right? The team have to share the goals across the whole field. I mean, Simon Mignolet, the keeper for Bruce, said that he's never seen this before.
Yeah.
That nobody's been able to play. That everybody across the whole field had quality, right? Patrick, Portmore, who's this?
What?
Who's this? How many big chances did the guy create his career in 19 versus Bruges? I don't know. You tell us, man. I don't know who's this.
I'm not sure. Portmore.
Oh,
Yeah, that's Kent. That's Kenton.
Oh, okay.
You can tell he's got an agenda against Jack Grealish.
Well,
Jack Grealish played a good game. Let's be honest. It's not.
Pretty. So the question I would ask to Portmore is how many one-on-ones did Sterling miss in the past 10 games? Probably like 11 over 10. But anyway. But seriously, I mean, you know, whenever you see this happen, this is not by accident, right? This is a pattern of play from the team adapting to create the extra man. It's not by accident.
Big up to Ego. Ego is from he's Crystal Palace fan. Yeah, he found us in the other video. When we did the other video, he found us, and I think he added me on. He's Ego Eye Football, very good channel. I saw his videos. Anyway, keep on going. Adam is also here. As always. Yeah, go on, Carl. Go on. Go on.
So I want to add a friend of ours. He's a City fan. Let me see if I can add him to the stream. How do we? I'm new to this particular. I'm looking for how to add or invite someone. Let's see how do we invite someone? Here we can invite guests. Let me try to invite a friend of ours that can join us to. He's also a City fan. That can join us to. His name is Ade. He's all the way in Washington. Hey, Ade, join us. Click on the link and join us, buddy.
Yeah, so I have just since we're on the game, I'm just gonna go away from the tactical side. We're gonna go to Cole Palmer. Is it Cole Palmer? Yeah, Cole Palmer. Yeah, Cole Jeremiah. I think it's Jeremiah or Jeremy or something. But it's Cole Palmer. Let's just call him Cole Palmer. The middle name, I think, doesn't matter. What do you think of this kid, Carl? Because let's not forget, this kid is the same one that played for about 15 to 20 minutes in the Burnley game, and then walked all the way to the academy and played the academy and scored 3 goals. What I have noticed about this kid, Carl, is that he scores from outside the box. He's got a special type of talent to score outside from the box. He doesn't do tap-ins. He creates his own goals. He will either go in the box, beat your players, and score. I don't know. I didn't. When I first saw him, I was like, just another one. You know what I mean? I was just like, just another one. But after these few games, I don't know. How you doing, Adi? Amazing. Yeah, amazing. So what do you think, since Adi has joined us, what do you think of this kid? Because when I first saw him, I thought he was just one of those CP kids, you know?
Oh, man, I joined at the perfect time. Well, sorry, I'm in the car. Hopefully I don't have my signal break up too much. But this kid, I mean, I think it's going to get lost what he did this weekend. In 3 days, this guy played in 3 big games. He played first in the Premier League, just a couple of minutes, but just get his feet wet. Then he played in under 23, scored a hat trick, then scored a Champions League goal on Tuesday. That's amazing. What he did in 3 days, or was it 3-4 days, is amazing what he did. And the fact that Pep put him in a big situation like that to go out there and just play. I think we were already up at the time he came in, but to score that goal, it's going to boost his confidence. And these are the kind of players coming through the academy that we're gonna just be so proud of in the coming years. We already have Foden. I can't wait to see Leon Delap and some of the other boys in the under 23 group. But I think what he did was phenomenal. And I'm just so happy with this kid. And it won't be long before we see him on the English team as well, playing for the English squad. But I'm sure you guys already talked about the game on the Club Brugge game, and I think Pep is just being fantastic with what he has. He's making lemons out of lemonade. Call a spade a spade. In some games, I do think in games where the team sits back so much, where they're very compact, that's when the number nine comes in, and that's when you're going to hear a lot of noise about the number nine. When teams leave a little bit of gap behind, we play enough one-touch football that we can pass behind you, and before you know it, we're in behind on goal. So that's a good opportunity where our false nine shows up. But when teams are compact and don't come out at all, that's when you need that strong, number nine that would really deliver, that can make just several touches in small spaces and get off a shot. So it does make a difference not having a number nine, but we don't really see right now because not everyone sits back and decides not to play football. Very few teams do that. So I'm kind of happy with the way we're playing so far, and I'm looking forward to how we progress in the games to come, especially during that crucial stretch. During that December time where we have a lot of games.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I think having that number nine in those tight games is what will really help us. Question for you, Ade. We've been talking about Kyle Walker and his role in this. It's incredible what this guy is doing. We looked at the Liverpool. We analyzed the Liverpool game. We deconstructed it about Walker's position. He's actually playing like a false striker, coming from that number 2 spot to number 9, and he did it once and twice and 3 times and 4 times. What do you think is going on?
He does it all the time. So the thing about Walker is Walker takes a lot of risk, and I think it's because of his speed, which is the one reason I love Walker so much. His speed allows him to take risks that a normal fullback would never take, because he can run in the blink of an eye. He's down the field, and if we lose possession, he's back there challenging, to get the ball back. So because of his speed, he's able to run into that position where he can maybe give the ball off to De Bruyne or whoever's on that right side of the field and run into space and try to get it back and create chances for the other guys or take the shot on himself. He does it a lot. When there's sometimes it fails where he's not able to get back in time, but that's against the really, really good teams. Against the really, really good teams that will hit you quick on the counter, that movement but he's disciplined enough now where he knows that, we're playing a Liverpool or we're playing a PSG or something, and he knows, okay, I can't take too many risks in this game because they can hit us on the counter. But in games like a Club Brugge or Burnley or whatever, you'll see him take a lot more risk. And I think that's kept just trusting his player that, I trust you if you're going to go forward, that you have to get back when the counter is on or anything like that happens or we need you back there. So it's because of his speed he's allowed to do something like that. When Cancelo does exactly what he does, Cancelo is not successful. If you notice, Cancelo goes forward and does kind of the same thing Walker does, but he doesn't have that speed to get back and cover. And that's one of my frustrations with Cancelo sometimes. He's brilliant going forward. He's like an Alexander Arnold. But the same way Alexander Arnold is not good on defense because he doesn't get back or he doesn't cover right. That's the same problem we have with Cancelo. But Cancelo, for what he gives us going forward, I think we allow him that leeway to say, okay, we know you won't be really good defensively, but it's okay.
You mentioned Walker. One thing I noticed, I watched the clip again last night, and when he made that run to score the goal, he made like 6 head checks, left, right, left, right, left, right. He was trying to decide when to go and if it was safe, based on what you said. He was checking left, right, left, right. It's almost like they had practiced it, and there was a moment when De Bruyne had the ball. Mahrez had the ball. He saw the gap, and then he coached to run into that space, and he was bombing forward. And he delayed 1 second, waiting for De Bruyne to lay that pass in, and his speed took him to go to score the goal. And it was clinical. Yeah. It was a clinical pass.
Amazing.
And Patrick, we can see his face on the picture here, smiling with Foden and Carson.
Yeah, look, I think he's. I'm pretty sure it's not just about him being happy to scoring his first Champions League goal. I'm pretty sure he's also happy that finally the movements I'm doing have yielded something. We saw it in the Liverpool game. We've been seeing it in a few games. As I said yesterday, both the fullbacks did it, which is amazing. On that topic, it also brings me to this fella, who, I don't know. I'm gonna start with Adi. This kid has become the man in a team that has stars. Like now you look to Foden to do something. Like I'm sorry, like De Bruyne is always been the star, but in these games now you're looking at Foden to say Foden is the one who's going to do something. And there was a video I was seeing this morning. The way he was receiving the ball, the areas he receives the ball in midfield, where people said, "Oh, he's better at the left now. He looks lethal that side." I don't think Foden would ever be the David Silva player, but the thing about him is he carries the ball. He doesn't pass the ball backwards. So what do you think?
Well,
This kid who's 20 is actually becoming our main guy.
you see how I didn't include Foden in the new crop of. I kind of say Cole Palmer is the next Phil Foden because Phil Foden is already, and that's what Pep sees. Pep sees what everybody else doesn't. Phil Foden is already at a level above all the academy players, and that's why when they ask him questions about Foden, he says Foden is special. Like, let's not talk about Foden. That's not a question we should be talking about. Phil Foden is now on the level of the De Bruyne's, not yet at the David Silva. I think that what David Silva has done for City is just, I mean, it can't be measured, but he can get there. Phil Foden is a superstar. The kid is fearless. He makes I love his awareness when he realizes, okay, all these little ticky-tack passes we're making inside to try to get, to see the white of the keeper's eye before we take a tap and go. I don't have a chance for that right now. I'm going to create a shot outside the box and go for it. And when he does that, sometimes he either scores or it's a rebound and somebody rebounds like with the Bernardo Silva and scores the goal. He's that smart of a player where he knows, okay, we the way we play football, we're passing, we get to the wing, we try to pass it in and try to, get a quick, the easiest goal. The easy goal is not always going to be there. And you need a player like Phil Foden that can realize that and say, I got to take the shot from out here. And, hope for the best. Let's see what happens. If it's a shot on goal, the keeper saves it, or it's a rebound, or anything can happen. So I love his maturation. And he's only, 22 or 21?
21.
I mean, the sky's the limit. What do you think, Carl? The sky's the limit with this kid, man.
Listen, here's what I think, right? I mean, you go to Anfield with a full house 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, whatever it was, and you literally rip Liverpool apart at Anfield, right? I mean, literally. I mean, the reality is that Miller should be sent off twice, two red cards, right?
Yep.
Not only do you do the assist, you score a goal, but you literally destroy their right back. I mean, at Anfield, we're not talking about versus, with all due respect, Newcastle or versus, Brighton or Burnley. We're talking about going to probably the most hostile stadium in world football, right? For City, and you basically captivate. It was so good that the match of the day had to give 2 man of the matches. One was to you, one was to Salah.
Yeah.
2. They don't do that. I mean, that to me is significant. This kid has grown to a point where we need to really pay attention to what's going on with this guy, and we need to find the best position for him to flourish, because this kid is good. I wish he had started on the left in the Champions League final last year.
I think he's positionless, Carl. I think he's positionless. I don't think that, and I think that's what Pep sees, and that's why he's everywhere. I don't think he has a position where it's a favorite. He's favorite everywhere he plays.
He's a footballer, basically. He's a total footballer.
Total football, man.
Yeah. The game yesterday, I was a little concerned because Patrick and I had done some analysis of Bruges based on the PSG game, and we were worried about what they could offer. But City weren't having it, man. They were from. It could have been 6 or 7 or 8 goals yesterday, and that wouldn't have flattered City at all. So it was an amazing performance.
I think that's why we took them. To be honest with you, Carl, I think that's why he took them seriously. I think there's a few people who when I say this, I think people thought when we said in another video, people were like, I thought you were hyping up this team. It's not hyping up the team. It's what we watch as people. This team hasn't lost in 4 games. This team played PSG off the park. PSG beat us. Let's not forget that. Even though I have an argument against that, I say PSG didn't play good football. They were just clinical and had moments in that game. We played better than PSG. So this team is good. It's a good team. And guess what they do? The transition they do when attacking is It's perfect, and that's what's our weakness. So we were analyzing it. While Kyle analyzed the whole thing in the other game was this team can give us issues. So I think Pep saw that and said, "Boys, be careful with this team." I think that's why he took it seriously because I've never seen our players take some of these teams seriously, but they are so relaxed. Yesterday there was a point in time. I don't know even Ad, if you saw this. There was the passing was so fast. I had to keep up too. It was so fast, and I was like, "Oh my god, I feel sorry for these guys. They have
Yeah,
reached
I mean,
found us." And yeah, go
I
ahead.
agree with you. The passing is just amazing. I love when we play like that. I don't think there's really teams that can beat us.
Yeah.
Maybe the really really good teams. I mean, we have to get tested against like the Bayern Munich and Bayern Munich is the only Bayern Munich and Liverpool are the only teams that I really think about when I think about really great teams. Um, that can really keep up with City. That's all I think about right now. Maybe there are a few others. Maybe Chelsea. I'm not too sure about them yet. But when we play like we did against Club Brugge, team, you would have to you have to sit back and say, okay, we're not going to play football. We're just going to defend. And that's the only frustration that frustrates City when teams just sit back and don't move. Then we have a problem. And then you will start hearing the noise about number nine. But when we play the way we played, very few teams can keep up with us. I think what Pep is doing now is truly remarkable, and we would only realize this when he's gone. When he's
Yes.
gone, we're gonna say, man, we we miss the days of Pep Guardiola. We're gonna be like those Arsenal fans. I'm not as bad as them, but we're gonna be like them and say, man, we miss the days of Arsene Wenger when Pep leaves because this man he's able to adapt with what he's given. He's not out there complaining about I don't have this, I don't have that. He just plays with the guys he has. And another thing we can't forget is the reason we are allowed to do what we do offensively is because of the defense we have.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can't we always got to keep that in the back of our having Diaz. When I saw, no disrespect to Stones and what was it, Ake that played together was in Laporte. No
Mm.
disrespect to those guys, but when I saw those guys together, I said we got to always have Diaz in the game. Diaz
Yeah.
is the leader right there that says, okay, this is how we organize. This is how we play football in the back. I need you guys to be focused, keep your head on a swivel, and don't do dumb mistakes. Diaz is the
Yeah,
one that every time Diaz is paired with someone, we have an awesome game. But
Yeah.
when it's not Diaz there, those two in the back, they defer to each other as to who's the leader here. And hi, Charlie, and we don't know what to do. But that defense we have gives us the leverage to go forward and explore.
Yeah.
I just wish we get a legit left back, but I know that also means sacrificing what Cancelo does. So
yeah.
it's kind of I don't know how to I don't know how to call it. We need a good left back, but I also love Cancelo. So I don't know.
I mean, every team has its weaknesses and its strengths. Every team has issues. I mean, ask my United what's going on right now, right? With the fact that they have too many star players that they can fit in. But I want to, before we go on to the next topic, Ade, and Patrick and I have talked about this. I mean, are we seeing Rodri's brother play? I mean, who the hell is playing as number 6 now for us, man? Because that ain't Rodri from last season, man. I
he
just love
did.
Rodri. Maybe that's the
He did.
2008
Yeah.
Barcelona. What's going on with Rodri, man?
He needed time, man. He needed time. Like we were so impatient. Let's be honest. I was part of the train of saying he. Yeah, I was saying he moves like a truck. I remember I kept on saying that. I'm saying he's too slow. He's too slow, too tall. Like this is the prem. We need somebody capable. Look, he needed time, and Rodri is a professional. Every just have you noticed that every player who tucks in their shirt, they are the most professional and stuck to their job. We're talking about Milner. We're talking about Milner. We're talking about Cancelo, who always tucks in his shirt. You know that like the old school Kante always shirt tucked in. Something recently he stopped untucking them. I know it might be funny to people, but some of these players are there to play. They don't want a sock slow or they don't want armband. They are serious. Even what's the other guy who plays for Chelsea? That's all old school players.
Kante,
Yeah, he also tucks in. He's there for business. These guys are Philip Lam, all these guys are old
yeah,
school. They believe this is how you're supposed to play. So I think
yeah,
we were just impatient with him because Fernandinho was amazing and
yeah,
Fernandinho had a level. But I think he was studying and sitting there, but he just needed time. I think Pep saw something in this young man who obviously we judged. He came at a younger age, by the way, so
Yeah.
he's learning. Now he's incredible. Like, let's be honest, he's been found in places. I'm like, is this the same Rodri who was being surpassed by players, outrun by midfielders? So I don't know what you guys think. I think we were just impatient.
Well, I'll come to Adi in a minute, but there's one thing Pep said in his press conference about the number 6 position. That's a position that he played when he was at Barcelona. He says the number 6 position, the DM must always have a 7/10 game. He says, I don't want you to be a 10/10 one day and then be a 2/10 the next day. So the best number 6s always have that 7/10, 7/10, 7/10. Just a common influence on the ball, like a Busquets, 7/10. Just good consistently. Keep the ball, pass the ball, pass the ball, keep the ball, pass the ball. And that's what he's doing. And then, but also, Ade, do you think that the fact that Bernardo Silva is also in the team and creates that double pivot, does that help Rodri in that center midfield?
Does it help? Are you really asking me that? Does it help? Buddy, Bernardo Silva is not only there for offense. Bernardo Silva is the guy when the ball is lost, he's running at you, trying to pressure you to get the ball back.
Yeah.
That's what David Silva used to do in his prime. When he loses the ball, he's running at you. They're not giving you. That's what the Pep's team of Barcelona used to do. Xavi and Iniesta. When they lose the ball, they're running at you, trying to get it back quickly so that they can start their offense again. So what Bernardo Silva does definitely helps Rodri out. I do have one issue with Rodri, and I think he'll improve with time. Rodri doesn't really sense danger. He's so, and it's because he's so composed with the ball. Sometimes I feel like when he's in the middle, he waits just a tad second too long before he gives up that ball. It really, unnerves me. He did it in this game where I'm just like, when he almost loses the ball, and I'm just like, Rodri, why do you wait so long?
Yeah,
and I know it's his composure and his belief and skill level that lets him do stuff like that. It just makes me a little nervous. And it's something that Fernandinho always knows. He knows where danger is. He knows where it's going to come from. And I think with time, Rodri is going to master that position. Let me piggyback to something you guys talked about. I think Patrick said something. That PSG game we played, Thierry Henry had an excellent take on Sky Sports the other day. He said PSG didn't win by design. They won by default. That's a very distinct clarification. It's not that they outplayed us and it was their design to do. No, it was by default. We had little lapses in that game because we outplayed them most of that game. We had little lapses where they caught us, and they have one of the best players in the world, Lionel Messi, that can make magic in a moment's notice, and that's what he did with that goal. Because that first goal is a set piece that fell in the right position, boom, back of the net. That happens. The goal by Messi, only very few people can do that in the world. But we outplayed them. So that PSG game, I don't really count that as anything. It's not a measure of what PSG is to us. I think the game against Liverpool, and the game against Chelsea are really kind of how we can play our best football right now.
Well, just to finish up that,
man.
The reality is that I'm actually happy PSG's in our group. You know why I'm happy PSG's in our group?
Somebody else gets to play them.
Somebody else's problem in the round of quarterfinals, right? That's your problem.
I don't fear them, but I still don't fear them.
I don't fear them.
Somehow I still don't fear them. Yeah.
But there's an X factor. We don't want to meet them in an elimination competition where you know that, and when there's no away goals this time. So it's basically whoever scores the most, right? Chelsea didn't want to meet them in the round of 16 or quarterfinals. Neither do Man United or Liverpool, because you have the X factor of Mbappe, Neymar, and Messi. Anything can happen. Right,
and he showed it again. He showed it again yesterday when he scored that fantastic 1-2 with Mbappe.
Right. And you can't control that. Anything can happen. So let's play them in a group, which means we can't play them in a round of 16. And the likelihood of us playing in the quarterfinals is very, very slim because of the way the math kind of works. So that's somebody else's problem to deal with. But we don't have too much time left, guys. Patrick, you want to talk about, the big game on Sunday?
Yeah, let's talk about the big game because I know there's a lot of games we can talk about. Let's go straight to the big game. Yeah,
Patrick, I've been thinking about this game on Sunday between Liverpool and Man United. I think the only way United win that game is if they default back to what they're good at, which is counter-attacking. I don't think they have the players to play possession-based 4-2-3-1. I don't think they have the players to do that. I think that what they have to do is play a 3-4-1-2. And just counter-attack the hell out of Liverpool. That's the only way they win that game.
I think they do, but I think they have the players, but I think they don't have the coach. let's not forget there's Van de Beek, who's coming from a place where it's pass. Let's not forget about Bruno Fernandes coming from Sporting, which is a passing team. You know, they dominate the ball in Portugal against a lot of teams. And let's not forget about Pogba, who also can hold the ball. And what do you know what's missing? That guy frustrates me. Even what's his name? Dani Alves said it. I know Dani Alves is a bit rude sometimes. Did you
What
guys
did he
read
say?
what he said? People
Daniel
were saying, they're saying that Fred is average, Fred is pathetic, he's not a good player. Do you know what Dani Alves came saying? Say no, Fred when he comes for Brazil, Fred is actually one of the most amazing. I'm not just saying because he's a fellow Brazilian, but when he comes in Brazil, he will bench big players. He will bench big players because he's hardworking and he can see a pass. And you can see how he is at Shatka with another coach. He says, I will be honest, I don't have no friends. It's the coach at United. That's what he said. The coach doesn't know how to use Fred the right way, which I think is true. Because let's not forget, we wanted Fred, and I think Fred could have done better with us.
Mm.
Fred was amazing. In the Champions League, Fred was amazing. Now he goes here, all they do is insult him. But if you look at him, he's not the worst on that pitch. Let's be honest. Fred is not the worst at United. There's people in that United team that are very suspect, but they always point at Fred. Oh, Pastor Fred, that's what they call him. They call him Pastor Fred. So I don't know. I don't know about you guys.
I think I'm gonna disagree with you just a little tiny bit.
Yeah, go
Fred
ahead. Yeah.
is a terrible midfielder. Let's be honest. Fred is a terrible defensive midfielder. If that is your last option as a defensive midfielder, you're in trouble. But the problem alone is not his. I think United have several issues. They have forwards who don't want to play defense.
Yeah.
Ronaldo's walking around. Martial walks around when they don't have the ball. They don't press. They don't do anything. They just walk. They kind of just, we're going to take what time. Sancho doesn't do anything. They don't help in the press. If you're not pressing the team, you're giving them too much time. But their problem is twofold. It's not just that. They have a midfield. They don't have a defensive midfielder. McTominay's not a DM. What's his name is too old. The other guy that comes off the bench is too old. Fred is not good. Pogba only wants to go forward. And then they also don't have a good backline. So there's a lot. As much as they have offensively, when they're on offense and they have the ball, they can almost always score because they have guys that can create. Bruno Fernandes, you can get it to Ronaldo when they're in the attack. But football is twofold. You got to play defense. When you don't have the defensive personnel to stop people from scoring, and that's the issue United have. They don't have a defense. Their backline is in shambles. Their midfield doesn't really exist as far as defensively, and their offensive players don't press. If we only look at the offensive side of football, we don't really see the glaring problem with United because you just see, oh, they have Rashford, oh, they have Ronaldo, oh, they have Bruno, oh, they have Pogba. Yeah, you're concentrating on the offense. The defensive side says they don't have a chance against Liverpool because Liverpool are the team you can't make a mistake defensively. You make a mistake defensively, Salah's in. What's his name? The other crazy guy Robinson is running down. Arnold loves this kind of game. You will see how Arnold will shine in this game because he's not worried about them defensively.
But isn't he coaching?
So I mean,
I think it's coaching.
If I'm Solskjaer, I'm just going to sit back and just try and counter and use the flanks to try and get behind Alexander-Arnold and Robertson because you're trying to play the ball, possession base, all that kind of stuff. You're going to lose. You lose because you don't have the press. As you said, you don't have the press or the work rate to be able to match their midfield. You don't have it.
Yeah.
So your best bet is to play back five and then have three counter-attacking. We get the ball, just counter them.
Precisely.
That's
precisely the only way they can win.
Yeah.
Precisely.
So it's I mean, right now, Solskjaer, I mean, this game he has against United, he has a game today against Atalanta. He loses that game, then he loses against Liverpool, and then they play Tottenham.
He might be fired to become next week, end of next week. But then it probably doesn't go away. People are saying, fire him. Who are they going to hire?
That's the problem.
Who are they going to hire? If they hire him? I don't think people are really thinking about that. Who do they hire?
They'll say Conte.
Conte's not coming there. Conte's not coming there. He's not. I promise you, he's not coming there. They're going to have the backup manager, whoever he is. They'll have the backup manager play till the end of the season. They're not going to get a new manager before the end of the season. It would just be a disaster for whoever comes in to try to fix that back line and get them, because Conte is somebody that he's absolutely insistent on defense. Like, so he's not going to take nonsense. And with the guys over there, I don't think that works out.
Yeah,
Yes.
but for me, I still think the coaching is also like I still think for me it's just for what I think. I think another coach would get something better from that team than our friend Oli, who's living off the 1999 goal, and obviously his best friends in the media supporting him. I think another coach would actually get something better out of that team. They would look for the weaknesses and say, you know what, I don't have the best in Fred, as you say. I don't have the best in McTominay. But if I do this, if I play with this guy, if I play in this way, I can get the best of these players. But that guy, I think he wakes up in the morning and just says, "Oh God, I hope Bruno Fernandes, Pogba help me today, and Ronaldo, Greenwood help me." I think that's what he wants. But anyway, those are the stats there, Carl. I'll be just flipping through those for the game of the United versus Liverpool.
Yeah, I think again it's going to be Sunday. I think it's 11:30 Eastern time in the US, which is around 5:30 or so in the UK. United have a chance. The only chance they have, in my opinion, is they play counter-attacking football and they just transition. That's all they have to do. They can transition. They have a chance. They try and play 4-2-3-1 with Sancho and maybe Ronaldo. They have no chance. They have to play transition football. But I mean, that's really it, Patrick, Ade, and from three of us. I don't know. Ade, anything else you want to kind of quickly hit on or talk about before?
I'm just looking at the recent meetings. You've noted that it's only last year when they lost a big margin, but it's been tight in the past. Draws since 2019. You can also check that. Look, they were doing good under Mourinho, and you know what I mean. Like under Solskjaer, even they've had a draw here January, but that's the Liverpool. That was a bit weak. But that same week, Liverpool went to Old Trafford and beat them 4-2. This is So look, at the end of the day, you can also see this. They play 58 games, 14 draws. Liverpool have won 16. Man United have won 28. Basically, we're talking about the old Man United, not the recent one. So look, for me, I don't know. I'm conflicted. I want to see if maybe people are right that Oli always shows up when he's pinned down. But it's not Oli who shows up; it's the players. I think it's a bit of pride. Pride comes out of the players to say we don't want to look like mugs. I think it's not him at all. So look, for me, that's all I can say. I don't know if Adi wants to add anything on this game.
No, I think you guys have said it all. I don't know if you guys had a chance to cover all the other games, because I watched 3 games. I muted the volume on 3 games of the Champions League, and I had the audio for the City game. And the Liverpool Atletico game was amazing. I think Atletico got done wrong with that red card, because that game was phenomenal up until that red card, and Liverpool got their win. Atletico, they really showed up for that game. They really came out there. From the manager. I saw the Ajax and Borussia Dortmund game, and Ajax just dominated Dortmund. What's his name? Haaland couldn't even get on the ball. It was. I feel like if they don't make this next round, maybe Haaland should just come over to City like in the middle of the season.
I know. They were outclassed. And did you hear what the coach said? That's why I like him. That's why regardless what he says, he's never won anything. I would like to see him at City, because he lives also total football. He said, I sat back and I have been watching them for a while. So he says he's studying them, and he's shown his players that this is how Dortmund play, and this is how he says we've been studying them. That's what he says, that we've been studying them. So basically, it looks like he studied them because they were outplayed.
They got outplayed, man. And then I didn't really see the Real Madrid game, but I think Benzema and Vinicius have been phenomenal this season. So Champions League is going to be tough this year. There's some really, really good teams in Champions League this year. As far as the league, I think the league, man, it's 3 teams. It's Liverpool, Chelsea, and City. Those are the teams contending for the league title. I think if we are able to play our football and teams take a little bit of risk in the back, we'll exploit it. But the teams that sit back like Chelsea did, but they still lost, sat back with 8 defensive players and did nothing. I think those games are going to be tougher for us, but we might be able to pull out a win like we did with Chelsea. So it looks good going forward. Plus, we have a deep bench to call on, for during that Christmas stretch when we have those run-up games.
Absolutely. And just real quick, if United want to learn anything from the game against Atleti for Liverpool, watch that game yesterday. It was clear transition. Everything was just transition. That's all. That's what they have to do. Regarding for us, I mean, the league. I'm just confident in the league, man. And we've gone away to Leicester, won. We went away to Liverpool, got a point. We went to Chelsea, we won. We lost to Tottenham away, which is nothing new. We never win there in the new stadium anyway.
We should change that next season. We should definitely change.
We should. And I mean, Chelsea have played both Liverpool and City. They got 2 points out of 6. We have 4 out of 6. Liverpool played both Chelsea and City at home and got 2 points out of 6. So if we can knock off the smaller teams and keep that kind of momentum with the bigger teams, it should be a good season for us all. But it's been a great lunchtime over here with Ade. Thanks for joining the stream, buddy. Patrick, as usual,
we're having me
on topics. We're going to do this more often. We're going to bring more people on. We have some Chelsea friends who are going to come on as well to talk about the games. But you guys online, thank you for joining. Coachella, Charlie, Kenton, Ade's here. Thanks for joining, guys, on the show. And I'll leave the last word to Patrick to wrap us up.
No, thank you, guys. This was amazing. By the way, guys, since now we can stream both on Pitch Points and the channel True City Fan, and any guest who comes on, even if they have a YouTube account, we can also stream with them on that. So from now on, we'll be able to connect with a lot of people, have a lot of people talking like you guys. You are so involved in the comments, and also me and Carl, they were talking that instead of just always focusing on City, we can also focus on every Champions League game and every Premier League game, so that we can also have more something to talk about, more stuff to talk about. Because sometimes, yes, you talk about City, but you run out of things to talk about City. But you can talk about other clubs and how they're doing, especially the Champions League. As you said yourself, there was a lot of amazing games that obviously you watched and I also watched, and they need to be talked
Charlie.
about.
You're right, Patrick. So and that's why I brought up the Ajax. It's always tough because in order to be able to comment on all the other games, you kind of have to watch the other games, and that's what I try to do. I try to watch our game because the way I have my TV set up, I can have like 4 screens in one where I'm watching the City game with the audio on, and I'm kind of just looking at the pictures from the other game. So, and that's why it's a little bit difficult to kind of analyze the other games that you really didn't watch, and that's something we can work on. Maybe we'll try to do better and incorporate all the other teams playing as well.
Well, thank you, everyone. It's been a fantastic live show between True City Fan, Pitch Points, and Ade. And we'll see you next time with much more content. Let's see what happens this weekend against Liverpool and United. We'll look at that game in detail and figure out what happened and leave the analysis as we normally do. Till next time, thank you and take care. God bless and goodbye.